What's going on, weirdos? It's your man Shane Kid Walker here, bringing you all yet another video. Today is a very special edition of Hollyweird TV, and for two reasons. The first being, this will be our season 1 finale as we get closer to into the COVID-filled new school year. The other reason, this is the first installment of a new semi-recurring segment known as Historical Figures. This segment will highlight those who have played an important role in society throughout their lifetimes. For this edition, we're going to take a brief look at the life, career, and the times of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. What better way to wrap up a season of top 10s and reviews than to talk about a man who helped change the world and capture the imagination of multiple generations. As always here at Hollyweird TV, we place timestamps in the description below so that you, the viewer, could skip ahead and control the video as you see fit. Without further ado, let's begin.
I am the greatest.
Muhammad Ali was born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. on January 17, 1942 to Odessa and Cassius Clay Sr. in Louisville, Kentucky. In 2018, it was determined via DNA testing that Ali is in fact a descendant of former slave Archer Alexander. The Emancipation Memorial is carved to commemorate the freeing of the slaves. As a result, Alexander's likeness was used to depict the freeing of the slaves by Abraham Lincoln. At the age of 12, Clay would be introduced to boxing after an incident left him angry. After having his bike stolen, he declared that he was going to whoop the kid that stole it. After being told to learn how to fight from Louisville officer and boxing coach Joey Martin, Clay refused. However, after attending a boxing event, Clay became enamored with the sport and soon began his training. In 1954, Clay defeated Ryan O'Keefe in his amateur boxing debut. From there, Clay went on to capture 6 Kentucky Golden Glove titles and 2 National Golden Glove titles. In 1960, Clay went on to capture an Olympic gold medal in the light heavyweight division. As an amateur, he fought an incredible 105 times, winning 100 of those bouts. However, Ali stated in his 1975 autobiography that after being refused service at an all-white restaurant, he threw his gold medal into the Ohio River. This claim would later be challenged by the likes of Boondaney Brown, one of Ali's cornermen during his professional career, as well as Howard Bingham, Ali's personal photographer. Nonetheless, he was given a replacement medal at the 1996 Olympics. In October of 1960, just mere months after the Olympics, Clay made his professional debut against Tommy Hunsaker. Clay amassed a 19-0 record from 1960 to 1963. 15 of those victories came by way of knockout. By early 1964, Clay established himself as the top contender. The problem was, Sonny Liston had just won the crown from Floyd Patterson in 2 rounds. Despite the Vegas odds being in favor of Liston 7-1, Clay constantly taunted the former champion and referred to him as a bear. During the pre-match weigh-ins, Clay's pulse checked in at 120, more than double his usual 54. Despite what most believe would happen to the rising star, he dispatched of Liston in 6 rounds as the ex-champion did not answer the bell for the 7th round. As a result of the victory, Clay, who was only 22 years old at the time, became the youngest challenger to take the championship from a heavyweight champion. After securing the title from Liston, Clay would go on to change his name to Cassius X, then to what we all recognize today, Muhammad Ali. Ali registered for a conscription on his 18th birthday. On April 28, 1967, Ali traveled to Houston, Texas for the U.S. Army induction, but ignored his name 3 times. As a result, he was warned that this would be considered a felony that is punishable by 5 years imprisonment and a $10,000 fine. Undeterred, Ali stood strong and denied his induction to the U.S. Army forces. Religiously motivated, Ali declared that war is frowned upon by Muslims. "War is against the teachings of the Quran," he said. "I'm not trying to draft dodge, but we're not allowed to fight in no wars unless declared by Allah or the Messenger himself." Despite his religious stance, Ali was still subject to backlash from the U.S. government. The same day that Ali refused induction, the New York State Athletic Commission suspended his license and stripped him of his championship. Fortunately, Ali did not serve any jail time during the court's ruling. However, he was still forbidden from fighting during his time. During this time, however, Ali became a sought-after speaker at colleges and universities, particularly HBCUs. Throughout Ali's boxing exile, many public figures came to his defense. Basketball Hall of Famer and 6-time champion Kareem Abdul-Jabbar spoke about how Ali's teachers hated him. "I remember the teachers in high school, they hated him," he stated. "They hated him because he was so anti-establishment, and he kind of thumbed his nose at white authority, and he kind of got away with it." The late Coretta Scott King called Ali a champion of justice, peace, and unity. Ali's former trainer Angelo Dundee said, "One thing that has to be taken into consideration about Ali is that he was robbed of his prime years, his best years." Ali was granted a temporary boxing license by the Atlanta Athletic Commission in 1970. His first high-profile fight since he drafted Dodge was against Jerry Quarry in October of that year. The fight was famously stopped by Quarry's camp due to a severe cut above his left eye. The next year, the United States Supreme Court ruled in Ali's favor 8-0, overturning his conviction. As a result, Ali's license was fully restored and he could once again fight full-time. However, the question remained, is Ali still at the top of his game? From the ages of 25 to 28, Ali didn't really have a fight, so the question had a sense of legitimacy to it. Nonetheless, Ali was gearing up to enter a fight with arguably his greatest rival of all time, Smokin' Joe Frazier. On March 8, 1971, the two undefeated fighters would wage war in what has since been dubbed the fight of the century. Frazier was the defending WBC/WBA heavyweight champion, coming in with a record of 26 victories with no defeats. Although stripped of a championship during exile, Ali was still considered to be the lineal heavyweight champion and was entering the bout with 31 victories and 0 defeats. The fight brought scores of people from across the country to Madison Square Garden. The circus-like atmosphere attracted everyday people and celebrities alike to the venue. The fight ended by way of unanimous decision in favor of Joe Frazier, resulting in Muhammad Ali's first loss. However, nearly 2 years later, Frazier would drop the title to George Foreman, setting the stage for an Ali-Frazier rematch in January 1974. Dubbed Super Fight 2, the outcome would be far more different than that of the previous fight. Just like the previous bout, however, the fight ended in a decision. This time, Ali won the unanimous vote, giving Smokin' Joe his second ever defeat. After his victory, Ali was once again declared the top contender for the heavyweight crown. Ali met George Foreman in a championship fight that will go on to be known as the Rumble in the Jungle. Taking place in Kinshasa, Zaire, now known as the Democratic Republic of the Congo, on October 30, 1974, Ali, who was 32 at the time, faced Foreman, who was 7 years his junior. Ali, who was the seasoned veteran, came into the bout as a 4-1 underdog. Throughout the fight, Ali employed his rope-a-dope tactic to exhaust the champion. By the 8th round, Ali succeeded and delivered a final combination to floor Foreman and recaptured the crown for the second time in his career. After a series of victories over the likes of Ken Norton, who actually handed Ali his second defeat while famously breaking his jaw, Chuck Wepner and Ron Lyle, the stage was set for the rubber match against Ali's biggest foe, Joe Frazier. Dubbed the Thriller in Manila, the fight was watched by a record 1 billion people worldwide. To accommodate viewers who were outside of the Philippines, the fight was aired at 10 a.m. local time. Again, Ali tried to employ his rope-a-dope tactic, but to moderate success this time. By the turn of the 5th round, Frazier, however, caught a second win, causing Ali's tactic to prove ineffective. The fight is known for both fighters going past 110%. Literally. At the end of the 14th round, Frazier's corner called for the fight to be stopped. Frazier himself disagreed, saying, "I want him, boss." On the other hand, after seeing Ali take a reasonable amount of punishment, Ali was prepared to concede the fight, unbeknownst to Frazier's camp. Frazier's camp, however, surrendered first, resulting in Ali defending his title. After the final bout against Frazier, Ali would successfully defend his title 6 more times against the likes of Jimmy Young, Ken Norton in a rubber match, and Ernie Shavers. He would lose the title to Leon Spinks and regain it for a 3rd time. Ali is the only 3-time lineal heavyweight champion in history. At the end of his career, he suffered 2 more defeats at the hands of Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick, respectively. His overall boxing record stands at 56 victories with 37 knockouts and only 5 defeats, along with 3 heavyweight championships and a Hall of Fame induction. 3 years after he officially retired from active competition, Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. For the rest of his life, Ali remained a cherished public figure as well as an advocate for human and civil rights. He passed away on June 2nd, 2016 as a result of septic shock in Scottsdale, Arizona. Did you learn anything? If so or if not, please tell us about it in the comment section below. If you have any ideas on what we should do next, by all means, please leave your recommendations in the comment sections as well. Yeah, we actually read those things and we give shoutouts to the recommender. Yes, you all, this is the end of the first season of Hollyweird TV. It has been a great road and I do appreciate you all taking the time out of your busy schedules to listen to what I have to say. I personally want to thank my best friend Shantae Campbell for always supporting me in any and everything I do, and it's always the kick in the ass that I so desperately need. I want to thank the good folks at Fantastic Productions for this opportunity. Jamie Bowie, Alonzo Campbell, Slim Taplin, KB Brown, Tyler Jefferson, John Savante, and everyone that's down with the Kings. Season 2 will get underway on Tuesday, September 15th at the usual time of 12:30 p.m. To start it off, we're going to get personal with the man behind the microphone once again. We're getting personal with SKW as he ventures off to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that dang on bell to get all of our notifications. Until September 15th, remember, Hollywood is a weird place. I'm your man, Shane Kid Walker, and this is Hollyweird TV.